Hello everybody, and welcome to a new Civilization 4 playthrough, Rise and Fall Civilizations. I'm Farboid, and playing as Carthage. Now, sometimes, when you start Carthage, depending on how well Greece is done, it can be impossible to win the historical victory that you want. And that's what happened here. This is why I restarted the game. But I'm pretty sure on the second play after I'd restarted, I went and won the game. As you could see, I think I landed here and then noticed something, restarted the game. I'm not sure what it was. I suppose I'll find out. Let's see if it happens this time. Might have forgotten to do something important. Or maybe it's that Greece weren't doing well enough. The point is, you're going to want Athens as one of your cities. I don't remember. Yeah, I accidentally landed my troops, which is not a good move, because if you land your troops too early, then, like, if you landed troops in Africa there, then it might be too late when you try and attack Greece. To do that and take Athens nice and early, really important. Take the strongest men there. And I like to build a city just there in Barca. Now, it's better, yes, when you get Byzantine as well, but Greece didn't do that well, obviously. Here's Rome. Rome will declare war on you if you don't open borders, so that's why I always open borders with them if I can. Otherwise you're going to be fighting multiple wars, but usually they can declare war on you even if you do open borders, and I think later in the game they might have. Not that it matters much, there's not much they can do to you. Now, take your troops, and I like to invade Babylon, or you need to invade Babylon, or either that or build 2 new cities. And obviously if you build lots of settlers, it's really bad for your production. You could be doing other things. Mercenaries, really important, obviously. That's Babylon's specialty, is mercenaries. And it's good to take over the independent states before you have to invade the Babylonians, if you do end up invading the Babylonians. In fact, I might not have even invaded the Babylonians. It's good. Now I just need Jerusalem, and that's 5 cities. With technology too, you want to be researching things that will allow you to circumnavigate the globe, because that is your 3rd historical goal. As for your other historical goal, can't remember. Might have been something else. There's definitely something else. And I'm sending my boats back and forth through the Mediterranean so I can take Jerusalem. Catapults are important at this point. You don't want to lose too many troops. More mercenaries. That makes 5, I believe. When I take Jerusalem, that'll make 5 coastal cities. And what I've been doing, obviously, is doubling the speed of these videos. And while that takes out the sound for some strange reason, actually it's probably better that it does take out the sound, otherwise you'd have all this double speed music, which would be really annoying. But while that takes out the sound, it also means it obviously goes twice as fast, which is useful. And now I'm invading Babylon, and I think it's because they were gonna... yeah, that was bad. I think it was because they were going to take over Sir with culture, which is kind of annoying. And that was not incredibly smart. They don't usually recover from that though. But I knew that I had catapults and I'd be fine in the near future. And I didn't quite get that. I was checking the historical goals. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's why you have to take over Babylon. I almost forgot. Securing 3, I think, dire resources. That's why I was getting all the workers, because it's quite important to get workers over there. I'm not sure whether you need to actually build a plantation on top of it, but you certainly have to get the dire resource in your borders at least, or maybe you have to get a road on it or something like that. But I needed that area there so I could get the dire resources. I lost another swordsman, which is not incredibly smart. And I still need to capture Jerusalem, but I think I was getting, assuming that die at this point was a bigger priority, which is probably right. I could easily attack here, and that's what I did, and Babylon is now mine. Just as he's got that, because you got the die here as well, and that would be my first die resource. That's my second, that's my third. And as long as I can hold on to Babylon for a bit longer, I'd be fine. Bring these guys down to invade. Invade Jerusalem. I know I don't have much time left, but that's what I did anyway. Fortunately, no one's quite caught on with iron yet. As soon as they do that, it makes it a whole lot more difficult to take over cities. And I don't think independents do it for a long time. I know I could have better used that great general, but I didn't think I needed to. Suddenly, all the focus is on Rhye. I can't remember what year it has to be done by, but I think I only just got it from memory. There's one, and I knew because of the river. I think it's because it's on a river plot, it didn't need a road, but it might have. Maybe it's like 100 AD. Something like that. Checking for optics, because you need optics. And Rome converts to Judaism. You know the world is stuffed up when the Rome converts to Judaism. Just cause, yeah, that's right. And they declare war on me, because I'm not converting to Judaism. Rome's not supposed to be converting to Judaism. And this is a little bit of annoying, a nuisance, but they're not going to do much. Seeing if I can plunder anything. I think it says 170 AD. So now all I need to do is not lose cities and circumnavigate the globe. Shouldn't take too long. Maybe. $350 AD, I think I said. Plenty of time. But yeah, those two dye resources over there in Babylon, I think they're like really the only resource around that you can use. Unless you want to go all the way to like India or something. Disbanding some units because I wanted to get optics faster, get more money. You can see Pompeii up there has been sacked. I didn't see why. And there we go, I've got both of these. Both of the historical goals. But I've also got Plague, and I've also got a Golden Age from the two historical victories. and lots of barbarians coming. This can be a real problem, and it's where you want to start getting troops. Like spearmen. Spearmen very useful when it comes to African barbarians. Doesn't really matter if you lose the cities in Babylon now that you've got 2 historical goals. Barker is pretty stuffed here, but for some reason he's decided to run away and destroy whatever was there instead. And then he decides to attack, and he loses because the plague is gone. And my empire is solid. And I get peace with Rome, who is now Christian. Like in real history. And I converted just for the sake of it. And now Rome has fallen. And I'm almost at compass. And Arabia arrives and takes all of my cities. Well, not all of them, most of them. I don't ever bother fighting for my cities, they're pretty pointless. I don't want the plague again, so I don't tend to open borders when I don't need to. And I've got optics, yay! Time to build caravels and sail the world. One caravel usually does you, but I've got... Does you? One caravel usually is all you need, but I built 2. Just because I can. And I start doing whatever with all the other cities, building wonders. As unnecessary as it may be. Usually I do this if the Mayan Empire is still around. You can go through his territory, and yes it is. And you want to hope that he's built the city, which means you can get through the Americas. Like the Panama Canal. Yes, he has. Which is very useful. It renders the second ship pointless. There we go. I might as well just use this guy. Don't bother with the other. At this stage, you pretty much won, doesn't matter what happens. Unless your ships sink or something. Or you lose all your cities to bigger factions. sometimes it's difficult to hold on to places like Athens or Barca if they don't have longbows or something. There we go, I'll just go on and made the other guy explore, because I'll send this guy up into Arabia and that'll win me the game. It's a shame that the AI never goes for historical victory. There we go, you can pause through this if you want to read certain things, if you can. But that's how you win with Carthage, or at least on the difficulty that I was on. Hopefully it's given you a vague idea. And yeah, have fun.